When we first talked about it, we were looking at options to renovate our current facility. And we explored that and then did a study and determined what that was going to cost. And, as we were heading down that path, I noticed we had a piece of property down the road for sale, and I come in and talked to our managing director about it, and we thought, well, this might be an opportunity to do something a little different than renovate. And we proceeded forward and talked to the board and got their buy-in and approval, and next thing you know, we own 40 acres, and we thought we would sit on it for a few years and figure out what the next steps were. And the board's like, well, when are we going to get started?
It was an agricultural piece of property, greenfield, and we thought it might be a good idea just in case. And then we were setting aside money in our budget just because we knew we were going to have to do something, either modernize the existing facility or possibly even building a new facility. And the stars aligned just right.
I really thought initially we were going to try to reinvent where we currently are. We've been here for so long, and that was initially where I thought we would be. But obviously, with looking at where we are and our limitations, we went a different path, and I'm really proud of the path that we've taken. I think it's the right time. We have this saying in asset management, the right fix at the right time. I think having a new facility and this investment in our community is the right fix at the right time.
We were looking at the current facility and how it wasn't meeting our needs, and we invested in a site review with an engineering company to see what's our options. We were at a point where we had to do something, and it's a big pill to swallow, but it's the right thing to do at the right time. Our facility is another one of our assets that we have to manage.
Okay, well, we started talking about this, I'm thinking back in 2018 or 2019. There were several things going on that I'm sure many people are aware of, but we've got the salt barn out here next to the creek, and we looked at that, and besides the fact that it was coming down and it was going to need to be completely rebuilt in the very near future anyway.
Absolutely, we've been outgrowing this facility just in my time here, even just our truck barn in general, trying to pull trucks in and out. You're doing a 10-point turn, just trying to get backed out before you can even head forward and go out the door.
We needed to move because all our equipment's getting bigger, all the trucks are getting bigger, and this place down here was just getting pretty small to store and house everything and make everything work.
We are moving because this facility here has been around for quite some time, and we are extremely limited in terms of space. We're pretty landlocked by our neighbors, and we use every ounce of it. We've had offices and closets, and we've had people in the basement, and the boardroom has moved from upstairs to downstairs, and just a lot of changes trying to optimize the use of space. And I think with the condition of some of the buildings around here, it seemed like the time to move to a bigger campus to hold us for the next 100 years.
The team that was put together to design this was phenomenal. It was something that I was very much in favor of, something that I did in personal business. We put together a team that came from every level of the organization.
But the design was fun because it was really, the door was open to build what we wanted, what we needed, right? So a lot of experience coming into this for the whole steering committee from all different angles, right? We had a mechanic, we had myself, the operations director, the managing director, we had the finance side, we had engineering involved, and we had a road maintenance team, right? So we were really gathering information, ideas, thoughts, and ways that we could improve from all departments.
initially, I think it was Travis came up to me and said, "Hey, we want you to be on the steering committee." I'm going, "Well, what's a steering committee?"
I know we initially started with our steering committee group. When it was brought to my attention, they wanted somebody from each department, which I really liked. It made a lot of sense. Having somebody from road maintenance, somebody from the shop. I was in the mechanic shop at the time that I had joined the steering committee. So being able to have each department give their input on what they thought was important and what was needed really made a lot of sense.
Not one department can know exactly what everybody's job does. So they know what works for them, and we know what works for us. So when you get everybody's opinion in there, we can all come together on equal ground.
You know, having a road commissioner involved as well as the liaison to the board and to our chair was excellent. So we really had all facets of our organization represented, and they all had a voice.
I don't think any of us who were on the steering committee entirely appreciated at the time that we got on the steering committee what all was involved with that. It was a major undertaking and well beyond the experience of anyone who was on the steering committee.
And being on the steering committee really spanned quite a gamut of different tasks. Everything from picking the furniture to trying to figure out where the building placement to seeking employee feedback even. Orchestrating internal events to try to figure out what do employees want in the new facility. So hopefully we've done a good job of that, and hopefully people are going to be happy with the new facility that we got.
You know, all these they seem like little things, but they're big things because you got to plan now. Otherwise, it's really expensive to change it after the fact.
And so, you know, the first thing we had to do is, hire an architect and figure out, what we could do.
Working with the project is interesting because, first of all, I want to say we have a good team out there. We selected an excellent project manager on the project with Wallbridge, our general contractor. The subs have been spectacular for the most part.
I would say Fishbeck as our architect and Wallbridge as our construction manager were exceptional. Wallbridge has been excellent. Every other week we had a meeting where all of us would come to the table, at least not all of the steering committee, but say myself and a few others, Rusty and Travis, and actually had a seat at the table with Wallbridge and talked about, like, page by page with Fishbeck as well, what was working, what was delayed, what items were there, what was missing, where are we at with the contractors, are we on schedule, are we on budget. Kudos to Ann Simmons, our finance director, our whole team there in ensuring those things, updates to the board. So those are great working relationships. I think the number one thing I walk away with is both Fishbeck and Wallbridge made us feel like we were their only customer.
Having the support through the engineering, design, architect, those people coming in and helping us complete the plan, and then being able to tweak it as we looked at things throughout the design process, going, well, that's almost there, but what about?
We had toured a lot of other counties, a lot of other buildings, businesses in general, and asked them about their new construction builds, what they did. And one of the big takeaways from a neighboring county was having 2 representatives from the county on site every day, being able to answer questions as they come up instead of waiting for our OAC meetings on our every other week basis. So being on site really helped with that timeline. We were able to shave off basically 2 to 3 months off from our overall initial deadline of when we wanted to be moving in.
I will say right from the beginning, we said we're not building a box in the middle of a field, right? So it's going to be custom to our road commission, and most things are.
There are lessons that we learned from our experience at 3801 that went directly into the design of the 26th Street facility.
The engineering firm helped us set some major key words that we always wanted to go back to. So when we were making decision, does it meet all our needs, not just organizationally, but physically and technology, and thinking about the future, and is it going to meet the needs of the organization 50 years down the road, and trying to keep us centered on not only what we need today.
One of the goals that we had as a steering committee was to be very innovative and forward-thinking and flexible for the future. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves into something where, you know, whatever the office layout is going to stick us for the next 30 years, right? We want to make sure that we're thinking ahead enough. So, you know, we planned on some high-tech stuff at the time today. This would be high-tech, maybe not in 30 years, but, you know, we got screens in all the conference rooms. We've got, I think we got the little screens outside the conference rooms that tell you which ones are occupied and when, so you can book them at the site.
One of the areas that we really challenge the architects with is no holes in our roofs. No vents, no place for water to leak in our facility, because we need to be spending our money on the road, not repairing our facility in the next 20, 30 years. And we were able to accomplish that.
Honestly, I think the whole salt building layout was probably innovative, and the way that we structured it to try to get truck movement across the site was very thoughtful. So a lot of things that maybe other road commissions aren't thinking about yet, or maybe they will. And I've already talked to a few of them, and they're interested in coming out and seeing it and trying to learn from what we did, and that's great. That's high praise, I guess, to have somebody come and look at what you did and try to take something away from it. So
we have been working with liquid deicers for many years, and we have gotten to the point where we're very comfortable, very confident with pre-treating salt piles. So with our new facility, we actually have one spray boom that sprays the entire pile versus a series of spray booms. So in essence, what we've done is built one spray boom that covers the entire salt pile, and that travels across the salt pile as we need it. So very custom. You can't buy it off the market anywhere.
The salt barn I like, because now we don't have to try to mix sand and salt all year long. It's all mixed one time. We got a nice drive-through going through it, so there's no more backing in and out, and we can keep everything separated.
Yeah, so the wash and storage building, to me, is probably one of the main areas I think the road commission is going to benefit from, and it's really a financial benefit. Our equipment is very expensive, particularly our snowplow trucks. So they're approaching $300,000 a truck. We have had to learn to maintain them better over the years because we can't replace them every 8 to 10 years like we used to.
The wash building that we've got now for our trucks, the guys drive through in 5 minutes instead of spending 30 to 45 minutes washing a truck after an event.
We have installed an air duct system that blows ambient air from the room, from the building, inside the building, underneath all the plow trucks.
We now have the underground airflow within our parking garage that's going to allow us to get all the snow and ice off the bottom of the trucks overnight before they go out again.
There's one other piece I think is key to that building, and that's we're calling lube bays. It's an area within the storage building where the operators, when they do their daily vehicle inspections and they need fluids, you know, whether it's engine oil, hydraulic fluid, and nowadays diesel exhaust fluid is common, windshield washer fluid, antifreeze, any type of fluid they would need for trucks or even just equipment other than fuel, is all accessible within the vehicle storage building.
The hoist and stuff we got in the mechanics bays for blade changing, it's a lot better than what we used to have to lay underneath, and a lot safer. So we used to have to lay underneath the trucks and lift the blades up. Now we can just pick them up and just work over our head.
We knew we needed a scale in our new facility. And this was part of the stakeholders meeting. The stakeholders really wanted to be able to cover the scale. We have to keep the scale somewhat clean for it to be accurate, and we need to keep the ice off it so it's safe. So we can't be spending our time cleaning the scale when we should be plowing snow. So we opted to put a roof structure over the scale.
The design and decorations in the new facility we tried to focus on what we do day to day. So a lot of it you'll see, we picked out carpet squares that looked like asphalt. So we tried to mimic what we do. I think we have kind of a culvert, we have the metal culverts on some table legs. We have a table that is concrete, looks black, has a yellow stripe running down the middle, so it looks like a road. We've used traffic signals as suspended lighting. We've used arrow boards that normally you'd find for like a detour or something. Those are used for the suspended lighting as well.
But for me, one of the things I'm really excited about is the boardroom. And I'm really hoping that with technology and the screens and our great work with Public Media Network, that again, that we have some technology there that we'll be able to share our meetings without a hitch.
Another, with the innovation of providing all of our road maintenance operators was a physical space. We're calling them offices, but it's a cubby, but it's a doored cubby. It's not a cubicle, where that's their space. That's where they can have their personal clothing changes. That's where they keep all of our road maintenance operators work off iPad type tablets. That's where they can keep that, and they can do they're logging in, they're keeping track of the jobs they're assigned.
And for our road maintenance operators, basically we're on call 24/7, 365 days a year, to have a space where they can go into their office and have their space for all hours of the evening. And we threw that out there just as an idea at one of our meetings, and it just took off. And it was so all of us have the ability to have our space, our place to go. So it's not just the managing director having an office, albeit size differentials, but we all had our own space to call our own space where we could have pictures of our family or things that are important to us, or a space to go, when needed. And so I think that was probably one of the most unique elements to our design, and the fact that somebody threw the idea out there, and the majority of all of us in the room thought, you know what, that's a pretty good idea.
And then they'll be able to, and they can leave their personal stuff in there and not have to worry about anything. So it's going to be a lot nicer for them.
A lot of this was bringing all of our team together, all under one roof. Certainly there's going to be growing pains to that, but I think unity by proximity is a good thing.
It breeds unity, I think, in the organization. Everybody shares the same restrooms, everybody shares the same break room, the same kitchen. We're sharing the same conference rooms. Heck, even our mailboxes are all in the same place, right? So, I think that I know that this piece of it will bring the organization together more as one unit.
I mean, from the top down, being able to see how people are collaborating a little bit more instead of being in separate buildings is going to be very interesting and exciting to see everyone actually being able to have lunch together, see each other in the morning, see each other in the evening, and then just the overall operation. I'm excited to see how much more we'll be able to do and how much more we'll be able to grow with a larger facility.
We're all people, right? And we all need to work together. And we can all appreciate everybody's skills and abilities, and I think you're going to see it firsthand.
Being able to have people come in and see the smile on their face and just comment, oh my gosh, this place is so huge. All the space that they have, everyone's excited for their new office, their new working environment. Just the building size alone is a little shocking.
It's so strange to see all the building come together when it started as just the outside steel structure, and then as they started putting walls in, and then they started painting and adding the different finishes, and you go, wow, that was okay.
So from the public's perspective, it is an investment. Certainly it's approximately a $65 million investment. And with that comes a lot of questions, as there should be, right? There absolutely should be. And I think anybody that would see our current location and see some of the items I've already mentioned that were challenging can better understand and better appreciate that we don't do this every day. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I'm hoping that the public will be just as pleased as we are with the final the final build.
I do think this sets us up to better serve the public going forward. Certainly it gives us a lot more area to work with to maybe store materials or park trucks indoors where they're not going to rust outside. We have a car wash now that's kind of nice, kind of keeps, I suppose, the salt and grime off the trucks. And I think we can serve the public. We'll serve the public here or there, but certainly I think this opens up a lot of options for us.
But if we can save 10 minutes a day, that's 10 minutes more we're working out on the roads.
Now, just everything is going to be time saving, money saving, and give us better opportunity to complete all of our services that we need to do with more equipment ready to go at all times.
It will help serve the public. The facility is custom built for a road commission of 2024 and moving forward for at least the next 75 years.
It will enhance our ability to work in the community because it is going to unite the staff more effectively. And I think as a staff that's united and working as a team functions better.
Out on the road, I think we'll be able to do that in a little bit more timely, efficient manner. So I think that they might see some benefit of more hours out on the road instead of more hours here trying to get equipment around that might be packed in and parked in, if you will. So I think they'll see a little bit of a benefit from that.
I see this new facility being in operation for 100 years. Yeah, I think it will stand that test of time. It's built that sturdy, that durable.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how we're going to grow as a team and all be in our new space with everyone being very excited about just moving in and having a brand new space to be in. I'm excited to see, smiling faces and everybody kind of settling into their new home. I think it's going to be a really good move for us, and it's really going to help really bring the team together.
We build it to last and to make it through 100 years, and hopefully if we need to add on, we'll have the extra room.
We set everybody up down the road to be successful down the road. Did we give them enough storage space? Did we think about all the things that they're going to need for their day? Is there a place to keep the vehicles inside out of the weather, help save those assets to last maybe a couple more years when we wash them every day and get the salt off them.
We planned it to be as far as possible future-proof, and so it has room to grow. It also has room to add new features in the future.
The new facility for us is where we're going to do business for the next 100 years.
I want those that come after us to know we've always tried to make it a better place and ultimately to be able to provide the best in public service. That's what drives us to do what we do and the decisions that we make. And that also carries to building a new facility. We want the very best in public service, and this investment will hopefully continue to have that impact in the future. And if I had somebody to look back, I hope that's what they say.